What has happened to all the starter homes here in America? The homes that once gave Americans a stepping stone into real estate are now disappearing, according to many experts. And I'm telling you, the definition and prices of starter homes has changed drastically all across the country since pre-pandemic times. More and more first-time homebuyers are finding it extremely difficult to find a home to buy under $300,000. And in today's video, we are going to discuss the reasons why it is so much more difficult now than ever before in finding starter homes. But not all hope is lost, and as a realtor, I'm here to keep you encouraged. And so we're going to explore some ways that you can still find starter homes out there if you are a first-time home buyer. My name is Cherilyn Williams, a Chicago, Illinois realtor, helping home buyers build their dreams through real estate. And if you are looking for a realtor to help you in Chicagoland or in Indiana, please connect with me. My contact information is in the description below. And also, please smash the like button and subscribe to my channel for weekly real estate content that is just for you. Okay, so let's get into this. As I mentioned, starter homes are much more expensive than they were a few years ago. And the ones that do go on the market face fierce competition. So let's describe what a starter home is. A starter home is the first home someone can afford to buy, and they're usually in the lowest price range of homes on the market. Starter homes are smaller, sometimes less than 1,400 square feet. It may be a condo, townhome, or single family home with usually 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom at minimum. Homeowners typically live in a starter home for 3 to 5 years until they can build up some equity, and then they will use their equity from their starter home and buy a larger home or their forever home. The person may be younger, like in their 20s, and a young professional, or it could be an individual or a married couple that buys a starter home. And once their family begins to expand, or if their income increases, they decide to upgrade to a larger home. So with a starter home, it's just going to have just the basics. You may not get all the top finishes, upgrades, and amenities. And sometimes the location can be a little less than desirable, but buying a starter home has always been a great way for first-time home buyers to become a homeowner. Now, in contrast, we have that forever home. This is your ultimate dream home. This home is a larger single family home where you can see yourself living for at least 10 years. And they roughly are double in price of a starter home. Your forever home could have about 2,000 square feet of living space or more, 3+ bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. Families in these homes have stable jobs and they like the area where they live. Now, because of the low supply in our current housing market, starter homes are challenging to find and much, much more expensive. Housing demand is high, and because of the ongoing housing shortage, there's not enough supply to keep up. When a starter home finally comes on the market, all the home buyers are clamoring to that home, putting in offers, causing fierce competition. And because of higher home prices, starter homes are not necessarily starter homes anymore. According to data on Redfin, buyers need to earn $80,000 per year to afford a median priced home. Back in December of 2019, the national median home price for all housing types was $274,000, according to the National Association of Realtors. In 2025, the median home sale price was $416,000, which is a 52% increase since 2019. Another reason why affordable housing is so much harder to find is because there are 15 million vacant homes in the U.S. that need renovating or fixing up to be habitable. The good news for housing supply is that independent investors are finding these homes and fixing them and flipping them to create more housing for people. However, some of the larger investment companies like BlackRock are buying up all the houses, which is making it harder for the average first-time home buyer to compete with these investors, because most times their offers are all cash offers, whereas the average home buyer has to finance a home purchase. So this is kind of good, but it's also not good. Interest rates are another affordability challenge, as many homeowners are locked into an interest rate of 5% or less and can't afford to sell and trade up with the higher interest rates at 7% like they are today. So the next option you could be thinking is to build a starter home, but it can be difficult finding a company that builds affordable homes. Back in the 1980s, 40% of homes constructed were considered starter homes. compared to 2019, where we only had 7% of homes were starter homes. What a major difference. In almost every state, they are building fewer starter homes. And even if they built these homes, the cost of supplies to build are so expensive right now, and the cost to build is often passed onto the home buyer. And many builders are finding that it's so expensive for the materials to build. That's not even worth building these homes because they won't make as much of a profit. So for first-time home buyers, it may make better sense to find existing homes that are on the market at the price that you can afford instead of doing a new built starter home. So a question many of my first-time home buyers have, or you may be asking, is should I even buy a starter home, or should I wait until I can afford more of a house that has everything that I want in it? So I'm going to answer this question by going over the benefits and the drawbacks. Let's go over the benefits of buying a starter home now. Now, number one, there's no guarantee what will happen with the real estate market ever. I remember when the interest rates a couple of years ago was like at 5 or 6%, and there were home buyers that were like, no way am I buying a home at 5 or 6%. I'm going to wait until the interest rates come down. Those home buyers that did not jump at that chance a couple of years ago are probably regretting their decision now that the interest rates are at 7% today. And not to mention, home prices have also gone up as well since then. You just really never know what can happen with rates or inflation in the economy. And if anything, the pandemic taught us that there are no guarantees in life about anything. You never know, because by the time you have saved up money to afford a nicer, larger home, things might be completely different in the market or the economy. And who knows what if we face another pandemic again. Another drawback of waiting is that putting off your purchase means you'll spend more time paying rent, which means you are not building any equity and you are just giving money to your landlord to pay off their mortgage. Wouldn't it be great for you to do that for yourself? Another thing is that home prices could keep increasing. And this is what a lot of home buyers that said a couple of years ago that they would wait have seen. You could end up being priced out of the market by waiting. Now, let's go over the benefits of waiting. Many people say we are currently in a recession, and unfortunately, in a recession, people lose their jobs. If more and more people lose their jobs, which is terrible to think about, and I wouldn't wish that on anyone, but I'm just stating the facts, that could really make inventory higher, because those people who lost their jobs will need to sell, or some people could face foreclosure, which would make it more affordable for home buyers because of the increase in inventory, and less demand would make those home prices come down. If you hold out for interest rates to get lower, your buying power will definitely increase. And if you have a great credit score, you will have better rates. So these reasons could be a great reason to wait. Another benefit of waiting is that you are more likely to end up in your forever home, and you won't have to worry about going through a new home search and moving again in a couple of years. Furthermore, if you wait, you can afford a higher priced forever home. And also there will be less competition among first-time home buyers and investors at that higher price point, because we know investors want the lower priced homes just like a first-time home buyer. So this means with more expensive properties, you may have a little more room to negotiate your offer because there are fewer competing offers. Now, let's talk about some ways that you can actively find starter homes in your market if you are determined to become a homeowner today. Now, the first thing I tell many of my home buyers when we are not having any luck in the areas that they desire or close to the city or major amenities that they want, I tell them, if you want to get a house at a lower price that will be affordable, we will need to broaden our search to other areas. You may have to look at cities or towns that you at first did not think of considering. And you never know, you may be pleasantly surprised that you find something that you absolutely love, but you didn't know was out there because you weren't focused on it. So really try to be open-minded about other areas in your home search. You may have longer commutes to work and home, or maybe you can change your job closer to your new home, but you're really going to have to figure out what you can live with and what you can live without when you become more open-minded to other areas than what was on your wish list. And this naturally segues into you really choosing a knowledgeable agent that really knows market trends and neighborhoods and knows how to help you find a home within your budget as well as a home that you like. Picking a good agent is so important just for this. The second thing is that you may have to adjust your expectations. You may not find the perfect home with everything you want in it. The key is finding a home that you can get most of the things you want within your budget and a home that you can live with for just a few years. If that means maybe living in a condo or townhome first just to get your foot in the door and being a homeowner, then do it. You may have always dreamed that your first home would be a single family home, and you feel kind of like defeated and upset that it will be a condo or townhome because of the cost. But that's okay, because remember, this is just a start for you to build up some equity, and then you can use that equity to upgrade to a better home. Just realize that living in a home that wasn't your first choice is only temporary, and you will be able to get a better home in the future. So you really need to be prepared to make some trade-offs and compromises if you are trying to get started in being a homeowner. Now, when you become too strict in your expectations in the market that we are in, it will be more difficult to find what you are looking for in your budget, and you'll be setting yourself up for disappointment. Now, the last thing is to give yourself time, and there's no need to rush and make rash decisions that can affect you negatively in the long run. It's a tough market out here, and you don't want to buy a home that in a couple of months you're going to hate it and have regrets. You know, sometimes I find my buyers that are trying so hard to find a home and they're searching night and day on the Realtor websites. And then they tell me they are so exhausted trying to find a home within their budget. And let's not even mention if they are putting in multiple offers on top of trying to find a home within their budget. It can become so exhausting and daunting. And many times home buyers get so caught up in the hunt and trying to get their offers accepted that they begin just choosing any old home, waiving inspections, or offering a price on a home that they really are not comfortable paying. And none of this is good for your pocket or your mental health. So when I see my buyers struggling or getting frustrated, I tell them, look, you know what? Let's just wait. Let's take a break. It's okay to put your search on hold, and let's focus on maybe increasing your credit score and building up your savings. Maybe just renting for a little while is okay. Now, when I have this conversation with my high-strung buyers that are trying so hard to find a home, they usually are so relieved that I told them that it's okay if you can't find something, and it's okay to rent for a while. It's almost like they needed me to say that in order for them to face the truth. So that's it for my video today, and I thank you so much for watching, and I really hope I keep you home buyers encouraged and not giving up hope out here and finding a home within your budget and one that you could live with just for a little while. And although it can be a little more challenging out here to find homes, and starter homes in particular, there are still some ways that you can find a home within your budget. You may just have to think and look outside the box a little bit. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.